A very warm greetings from my end. My name is Himang Joshi, and for those of you who are joining for the first time, I am a blockchain developer at Token Minds, and at Token Minds, we promise to deliver these kind of webinars on a weekly basis, very consistently, to make sure that we are there to explain the latest cutting edge advancements in the Ethereum space in a very layman's term, so that even a very non-tech user or a very beginner user in the Web3 space can also understand it. And for the same reason, we decided to bring the talk of the town of this year, that was native account abstraction, as our today's webinar. So if you don't know what account abstraction was or is, buckle up, because by the end of this today's webinar, you will have an exact idea what exactly account abstraction is. So without any further ado, let's dive deep into account abstraction and how it can be used to scale blockchain usability for Web3 projects. So before that, let's understand what exactly is the word account abstraction is. So if you have already been into Web3 space, and if you have already been a Web3 user, you know that when you have to sign a transaction, you need to sign it with your private keys every time it happens. And let's say I want to send some tokens from my account to your account, then I need to sign the transaction with my private key. And if in any case, like, I am holding lots of funds in my wallet, and if in any case I lost the my private key, I lost access to my account, I won't be able to do so. And imagine that this is a headache to you. And imagine if you are onboarding your web 2 user friend to the web 3, and you just say, hey guy, you need to have this private key with yourself, a 12 phrase seed, whatever. And then if you lose access to it, you are going to lose all of your funds. It cannot be You cannot gain access back to it, and always you need to have a private key to sign your transaction. Although there are wallets that are covering that are well built with UX that does not really allow you to enter your private key, but on the deep side, it's always the private keys that are signing the transaction. And if you lose access, like if you forget the password, if you forget the seed phrases, you lose all the access to your wallet. Is that friend is going to onboard a web3? Most probably no, because he or she is not really in the web2 world. He or she is not really that like has not faced these kind of problem anytime, and they would think like, okay, I'm stepping out of web3 already. So to solve this problem came into the picture account abstraction. So basically the idea about account abstraction is that anything anything can be made as a private key for yourself, for your thing. So basically it is a concept that is using the concept of externally owned accounts and smart contracts, and it's going to create a unified model on the top of it. And that unified model is called account abstraction. So basically, in a hindsight, it means that I can sign transaction with whatever the thing I want to sign the transaction. It can be multi signatures, it can be uh, a Google's action keys. If I can code it, I can sign the transaction. That's the very very native idea of to use account abstraction. And then came a later on parts, like you don't need gas and stuff and etc. But that's for the later side. But just to understand the idea of account abstraction is that you can basically make your wallet function as their own smart contracts. And when you're gonna code your own smart contracts, it can sign the transaction with whatever anything which you can really code. You can also use some indexes from off-chain sources, so that you can sign transaction, and there are endless possibilities that it can be used for. Now, what is the account abstraction role is like in that. So in the externally owned accounts, it's always controlled by your private keys. It has limited functionality, like it can only interact with smart contracts. For example, your accounts that are made on the wallets like MetaMask or stuff are called the EOAs. And then there are smart contracts accounts that cannot be used to like they only have executed codes, and it cannot be directly user controlled. So basically, as I explained earlier, the role of the of account abstraction is to combine these two both into one, so that you are having no issues in signing transactions, and your wallet can be also behaving as a smart contract, and it's an executed code. So, what are the really technologies that are underlying in the top of like behind the account abstraction is the ERC 4337, which was the implementation. It was co-authored by Vitalik to create the account abstraction. And then there are layer 2 networks which have natively built in into their the account abstraction inside their own chains. And then there are paymasters, which are the gas fees. So let's first try to understand the ERC 4337. And if you might think that a quick story here is that ERC, the concept of account abstraction, although came very like it is although very quite in talks right now, so it might seem new, but the concept was even released way before Ethereum was released. Not way before, it was released during the time of Ethereum as well. There was a blog published by Vitalik in 2015 that gave a hint of account abstraction itself. And from 2015 to 2020, many earlier EIPs were created, and many early proposals were created that were giving a simple hint of something related to account abstraction. And then finally in 2021, Vitalik and Yuvas V's and they all sit together. They did a lot of brainstorming, and then they came up with the ERC 4337, which was the implementation of account abstraction. So basically, ERC 4337 included lots of points, which was it had a key, it had a bundler, it had an entry point dot sol. So basically, entry point dot sol was released last year in March. So basically, in entry point dot sol was the contract that was created by the Ethereum, where any transactions of the account option is gonna take place is needs to go through that point, like smart contract. So once you have your like whenever you're gonna create your smart contract, it's gonna interact with the entry point dot sol smart contract out there onto the Ethereum chain. And from there onwards, it's gonna go on to the account abstraction parts. And then came the layer 2 networks. So basically, zk sync era had it natively built in. So basically, in Ethereum right now, because of because the protocol cannot be changed, so basically there is an alt mempool which is created, and this alt mempool is natively built in zk sync era. So basically, zk sync era chain has natively built in account abstraction. So basically, the every nodes of the zk sync era can behave as an as an alt mempool. And inside this as well, like interestingly, they have designed the chain such that every account which is interacting onto their chain can be used as an account abstracted, and can be used as an like as an executable smart contract bytecode. And then comes the paymaster. So basically, the third problem of the puzzle was always that I don't really want to pay gas fees, because I don't understand how to pay gas fees and what's the concept of it. And as a good technology, it should also be hidden from the user, and they should not really bear the trouble of understanding it. And so came the paymasters. So basically, paymasters were the separate smart contracts that were gonna uh, pay the fees on the behalf of the user. So the every user, they don't really need to pay the fees. It's the fees is gonna be paid by paymaster. It's kind of a custodial wallet concept, but it's going to be a natively built in. So this is these things made account abstraction a very latest cutting edge technology, and that was the reason why it was the talk of the town in 2023 and 2024 itself. So now let's understand why exactly Web3 projects need account abstraction, which we have been talking along as well. And to understand and to just have a written point of view, it is that there is very difficult wallet setup which discourages non-technical users. So let's try to onboard one of the one of your Web2 user which is very non-tech savvy to Web3, and just say that, hey guy, hey man, try to send a transaction from you to me, and they're gonna burst their mind out. Because it happened with me as well. I also started as a non-tech, and when I onboarded my testers into it, they still really cannot comprehend why they need to pay gas fees and stuff. And it's hard. And account abstraction can take this thing away, because they don't really need to do all these kinds of things by themselves. And then there was risk of private key loss or theft. So basically, if you have lost the private key or stuffs, you cannot really like you cannot really get back the funds in your account. And that was a very high risk. And then there is always high gas fees and network congestions, and because of that the gas fees are always rising, and it's not very stable, and it's hard to understand why I'm paying two different kind of gas fee for the same transactions. Then there was no easy account recovery option for users, obviously. And then user needs to ether upfront for gas fees, like they always needed some of the ethers to complete a transactions. And then like all of these things were creating a very trouble for the web3 projects. And like all the traditional web3 projects have these kind of problems already, and all the users that are there in the web3 needed to have some kind of basic technical knowledge, and that's not really a healthy space. So basically, as a solution, it introduces social recovery and customizable validation through multisig and stuff. And then it enables invisible wallet with streamlined onboarding for users for that remove the part of the difficult wallet setup. And then all of these things, which is the need for ether and these steps for start using the dApps and high gas fees and network injections and no easy account recovery option that we have already discussed. And account abstraction came as a solution for all of these things. Now let's understand account abstraction in Telegram's ecosystem. Because why are we discussing about Telegram is that Telegram, for very long years we have been always talking about how to onboard users to exactly to the Ethereum space and why. And interestingly, Telegram did that very friendly. And why was Telegram able to did this? Because it has a massive user base. There's a typo here, it should be 950 million, but yeah, it has a very highly active user base. So if you compare this with the most famous protocols from the DeFi in the Ethereum space, is that let's say Aave or Uniswap, they are only getting a few thousand active user participation every day. And as compared to that, everyone use Telegram for the things. And when Telegram had the like implemented the crypto friendly environments, and like you can really do transactions, like for example on Solana transactions you can do on Telegram very easily. And then it introduced mini apps and token trading stuff. So basically it gave an entry door to onboard the users which were web 2 to web 3 without them really knowing that they have entered the web 3 space. And then they also have integrated tools and user accessibilities. So basically what drives the account option technology is that and into the Telegram ecosystem is the same, is that it has invisible non-custodial wallets. So basically Telegram users can onboard without any complex wallets startups. And for example, I cannot really remember the name of the game, uh, but that game already is a web3 game, and it's a pay to earn game on Telegram, and it's having 30 million users per month, active users. And it's massive if we compare it with the types of development we have been doing in the web3 and Ethereum space for many years. We have been trying to hit that number, but we haven't even come close. And within the 4 or 5 months of the Telegram crypto friendly environment launch, it has got a good view of of 30 million. So it's massive. And then it also have introduced paymasters for gas subtraction. So basically it like in many games it only allow users to pay for once in every month, and when they pay once, they're gonna implement the paymasters, and it's gonna be paid for the another 1 month. So basically for the first like it has been done by the Argent wallet as well. The Argent has integrated themselves with the Telegram, and what they've done is that when user is starting with these kind of games, they need to pay once, like the first time they're gonna interact with the wallet. And then for a month they'll forget how the wallet was, like wallet even exists there. So basically what you're doing is that you're removing the unnecessary part, that the troubles that the user has to do. And then it has a like it is a applicable model for platforms, which is like it enables secure and frictionless tab interactions that mimic perfectly the web 2 simplicity for web 3 applications. Now let's understand what's really next into the account abstraction, and I have been there in the DevCon, and I was personally present there doing the speech of Was, who was a co-author for ARC 4337, and to understand exactly what are the future. And I'll say this without any biasness, that the future looks very promising, because let's say, for example, they were talking about the implementation of EIP 7701, which was to be done into which was to be done in hand with EOF implementation, which will be done after the Pectra update, and which would also include the combination of EIP 7701, RIP 7560, and ERC 4337. So that would introduce the censorship resistance into the accounts, and it would have a customizable account model. So that looks very promising. And then all of the layer 2s are expanded. So for example, zk sync have natively built in account abstraction model, and then the other chains such as arbitrum and starknet and polygons, like EVM, all of them are already have account abstraction, and the chains which are not are already gathering into speed to have them built in. So that is gonna promote faster, cheaper, and better scalabilities. And then the last is that there is going to be a cross-chain interoperability. So basically, this is mostly for the UX part, and in Ethereum space, the UX part need the UX part really need massive development. And for example, it's gonna eliminate reliance on centralized bridge operations, and it's gonna, like, you can use one token uh, to to operate on multiple chains using account abstraction. So it's going to be a cross chain interaction with only one token, and it can, and user can interact with multiple blockchains with just a one unified account, and there are endless possibilities of it. So with this, I come to an end of this webinar, and I hope you get a gist of how exactly account abstraction is. And let me know if you need any tutorial. We can also develop a hands-on code tutorial on developing with account abstraction on Ethereum and on zk sync both, and we will be there to present it. So thank you for all joining in today, and see you next time with a new topic. And probably the next topic is going to be on AI. See you then. Bye bye.